Welcome back. You're watching NewsX. I'm Uday Pratap Singh. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has participated in several important religious and cultural events in Kurukshetra, Haryana today. Prime Minister Modi inaugurated a newly constructed memorial in Kurukshetra, honouring Lord Krishna's divine conch, Panchajanya. This memorial is dedicated to the historical heritage and spiritual significance of the Mahabharat period. Haryana CM Naib Singh Saini was also present during the ceremony. He also visited the Mahabharat Anubhav Kendra, an immersive experiential center that features installations depicting significant episodes from the Mahabharata, highlighting its enduring cultural and spiritual significance. After this, the Prime Minister attended a special function organized to commemorate the 350th Martyrdom Day of the 9th Sikh Guru, Guru Tegh Bahadur. Prime Minister Modi said, Guru Tegh Bahadur's unparalleled courage and supreme sacrifice inspire millions. Guru Tegh Bahadur was the 9th of the 10 Sikh Gurus, a revered spiritual leader, philosopher, poet and warrior. At the event, Modi released a special coin and a commemorative stamp. Meanwhile, he further said that while India desires peace, it will not compromise on its security, citing Operation Sindoor as a prime example. In the final leg of his visit, PM Modi performed darshan and puja at the Brahma Sarovar. Brahma Sarovar is one of India's most sacred pilgrimage sites. Major General SVP Singh, defence expert, joins us live. Dr. Ramesh Raina, Kashmiri Pandit, is also with us live. Bipin Sharma, senior journalist, is live with us. Joyita Basu, editor of the Sunday Guardian, is also joining the broadcast. Let me make a start with you first, Major General SVP Singh. Clearly, a day when the nation was celebrating Shaheedi Diwas, Prime Minister Modi leading tributes, commemorating the occasion in Haryana today. His message, of course, was strong, was solemn on the occasion. What stood out for you?
Well, Uday, the Prime Minister message is very clear on a very, very important landmark day today, commemorating the 350th anniversary of Shaheedi Diwas of Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib. Now, what was that sacrifice? The sacrifice was in the cause of a religion, not his own. So it went into a civilizational function of the Guru. It was beyond boundaries. There were no borders in his state of mind, whether it be religious or geographical. Now, that was a very great message. And Kurukshetra, which the Prime Minister addressed this, the place, is a place which is a battlefield of depicting justice, faith, and truth, for which it was fought. And Lord Krishna, the Battle of Mahabharata, is very, very pronounced in this message. Now, it can be combined with the Prime Minister's message on counter-terrorism, because Operation Sindoor has also been invoked in this. A new doctrine has emerged, counter-terrorism doctrine, in which it is going to be decisive retaliation. It is going to be also zero tolerance to terrorism or to the state actors sponsoring it, and there will be zero tolerance, which I said, and no nuclear blackmail will be accepted by India. Now, these are the messages, but this now has to be converted into a proper fortified counter-terrorism doctrine by India, by the Indian state. Now, what we have seen post-Operation Sindoor, the worst of it has been the Red Fort car blast. Now, this is a message to us. Maybe Operation Sindoor has been there, but what counter-terrorism, what insurgency lessons emerge historically, that it does not fade out. We have to be alert. If they are finding new measures like this now latest white-collar terrorism combined with techno experts, then we have to be, as a state, countering that. And counter-terrorism will have to be a principal doctrine of warfare, I would say. And we have to dovetail this, synergize with conventional, with a nuclear backdrop, and fighting terrorism, counter-terrorism. So the Prime Minister has invoked upon the nation on this very holy day, okay, let's join hands. And I would say India stands at one. The unity should be prime, and we should fight the anti-national functionaries which are there, and they should be brought to be got into the mainstream of the national effort towards India's counter-terrorism warfare. Over to you, Uday.
Yes, Dr. Ramesh Raina, Kashmiri Pandit, is also with us. And it was Kashmiri Pandits who were defended by Guru Tegh Bahadur as he made that, supreme sacrifice, protecting their right to profess their faith, protecting their right to live, Dr. Ramesh Raina. And that is a lesson that holds good even today on the 350th Shaheedi Diwas.
Thank you, Uday, for giving me an opportunity to speak here. You see, we got a special relationship with Sikhism. And the mentor for this relationship is the martyrdom of Guru Tegh Bahadur Singh. Well, he is being known in the history as Hind Di Chadar, and rightfully so, because he is the man who laid down his life for the protection of faith and humanity. And if you have a broader look of his understanding, of a broader look, why did he so? That was only because the religious persecution and the forced conversion became the central theme of his martyrdom, because the delegation led by Kriparam, which consisted of 500 people who met His Holiness Guru Tegh Bahadur Singh at Anandpur Sahib and related him the whole thing. And Aurangzeb put a premium. He asked him that if your spiritualism can save these people, well, do it. And calm and serene as His Holiness was, he was there meditating, and that is how he was beheaded. And it is this martyrdom which raised a voice, which gave rise to contest the terrorism in many forms. And it is that martyrdom which forced Mughals to take other view, not to take the view that they took at that point of time while martyring His Holiness Guru Tegh Bahadur Singh. We indebt our life, we indebt our whole existence to Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji. Had he not done so, had his martyrdom not taken place, probably Kashmiri Pandits would have not been here, and probably me would have not been speaking from this platform. Let me tell you very honestly, we belong to Kashmir, and we had Chatti Padshahi. We used to go every Sunday to Chatti Padshahi to pay our obeisance to His Holiness Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji. And not only that, every Kashmiri Pandit, there are still some families in Kashmiri Pandits who keep a fast on this day. And we have led rallies to Golden Temple from time to time just to ensure. And I wish to congratulate our Honorable Prime Minister for three things. One, releasing of a commemorative stamp. Another, a special coin. And over and above, observing a year-long commemoration of this Shaheedi Diwas. This is not a simple thing. This is long overdue. This should have been done much before, because the kind of message, because the kind of, the life he lived, because the manner in which he laid down his life was to protect the honor of Hinduism, was to prevent religious persecution and forced conversion. Imagine, at the age of 13, he fought Mughals. The kind of courage that he showed, the kind of momentum he infused to contest the ongoing terrorism that was unleashed against the Hinduism, that is something to remember, and that we always remain indebted to you. Over to you. Thank you.
Bipin Sharma, there was also, of course, the inauguration of the new experiential center, also, of course, a memorial for the conch of Lord Krishna, Panchajanya. Lessons from the Mahabharata can be learned from this experiential center. Also, and of course, the Brahma Sarovar, the Prime Minister performed Darshan, evening Aarti as well. And before that, of course, in the morning he was in Ayodhya as well. So this was a day devoted to the divine. This was a day devoted to the faiths of India by Prime Minister Modi. Bipin Sharma. Bipin, can you hear me? I think we've lost him. Joyita?
Yeah.
Joyita, okay, Vipin is back with us. Yes. Vipin, did you get my question? I was also trying to ask you about, the other darshans done by Prime Minister at Brahma Sarovar in Ayodhya. Also, of course, the Mahabharat Experiential Center and the Panchajanya.
Absolutely. So, a very, very significant day today, starting from the morning session when Prime Minister was there in Ayodhya for the flag hoisting ceremony, and which marked the completion of the Ram Mandir construction, starting from the consecration ceremony on 22nd January 2024 to 25th November 2025. Very significant day, and of course, our most revered Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji's Shaheedi Diwas, which is being celebrated across the globe now, and then, the Prime Minister's speech in Kurukshetra has its own relevance, because the message is loud and clear that while we promote brotherhood and we are for peace, but then we will not bow down to terrorism, and that we showed to our enemy, neighbor Pakistan, and the message went to other nations also which were supportive of Pakistan when we launched Operation Sindoor. So I think the message will definitely go to all those nations which have those sinister designs against India, and we had this very recent terror attack near the Red Fort. So now, Prime Minister is a very tough taskmaster. That's a known fact. And now Prime Minister didn't mince words, and he was quite clear when he made this very sweeping statement that we will not bow down before terrorism, and we are competent enough to, we will not bow down to any threat of nuclear blackmail. So I think a very, very significant day, very, very monumental day, I would say, because spirituality combined with very strong message that has been delivered by none other than the Prime Minister. So I think definitely 25th November will go down in the books of history as a very significant day, and this is new India, a resurgent India, and we are all poised towards achieving our goal of Viksit Bharat 2047. And let us not forget the ambitious initiatives of the government of the day: vocal for local, make in India, skill India, digital India. And we are, in the present day scenario, the fourth largest economic power. And besides giving credit to the policies of the government, the entire country needs to be credited for their efforts, for their contribution. And we showed to the world when during the COVID outbreak that we our resolve is quite firm, and we are steadfast in our approach.
Yes.
And despite our very, I would say we didn't have that kind of health facilities, infrastructure, but then our resolve was there, very firm, very steadfast, and the era belongs to India.
These may have been battles fought centuries ago and decades ago, be it the Mahabharat or be it, of course, the Shaheedi Diwas Joyita of Guru Tegh Bahadur. But these are lessons that Bharat can draw even today, and every Bharatiya can draw even today. This message holds loud and clear even in 2025.
Yes, absolutely, Uday. Now, when you are looking back at history, because you see, India is in a position, unlike most of our neighbors, I would say, even for that matter, Pakistan, Bangladesh, what history do they have? Their history is India's history. Whenever you look back, even for the West, for that matter, our history goes back thousands and thousands of years. There was no Western civilization at that point when our civilization, after civilization was flourishing. So, we have a unique, decorated, a brilliant history, and it's but natural when we are going forward, moving ahead. Of course, there have been problems. The reason why we slid into the I would say, economic downfall of this country, that is the subcontinent, I would say. So you see, that has happened. So we have a lot to take our lessons from. We have a lot to learn from our own past. Obviously, we are ready to learn whatever the world also has to offer us, but we too have a lot to offer to the world. And this is what the Prime Minister was talking about at the program today. It's very, very significant that it took place on the same day when he hoisted that flag at Ayodhya, which marked the culmination of the building of the temple. It is the fulfillment of, I would say, millennia of people who wanted a Ram temple there. The very fact that it got built over almost 2 years after it was inaugurated, that itself is a very big thing. I can see, I've been talking to people, it's a very big thing for them. And so everything together, it makes a very significant day. And what we witnessed today, and it's also very important that he spoke of anti-counter terrorism on such an occasion. It was not just a message to Pakistan and our enemies, but it was also a message to our countrymen, obviously, saying that you are protected. You don't have to worry. So it's a confidence building speech, I would say. Uday.
Yes. And at the end of the day, the security forces are the Hind Di Chadar today for India, isn't it, Major General SVP Singh? A reference to Operation Sindoor as well. India desires peace, but will not compromise on safety of our citizens, said Prime Minister Modi today.
Absolutely, Uday. You see, the Prime Minister's message resonates Guru Tegh Bahadur's greatest message. The message is human consciousness should be supreme. The sense of the weak should be upheld. And he is a living example. Guru Tegh Bahadur stands immortalized. I would say it was human rights in practice, and UN Charter on human rights has come in the last century. And this was dating back to the 17th century. So just imagine how forward-looking Guru Tegh Bahadur was and what he has done for the cause of unity of this land. His message today resonates, his action resonates in the present times. And it was also telling the countrymen today to recall that it is courage, spiritual courage, political courage, I would say, against military might and political misadventures which the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb was practicing. So any armed threat, he said, I am the Hind Di Chadar, the shield of the nation. And today, I think what has been celebrated all over in a very, very befitting manner is a very great message to our country that let us stand as one. And that message should continue down the ranks of our countrymen and countrywomen. Over to you, Uday.
Yes, absolutely. And, Dr. Raina, at the end of the day, of course, it is also a message that, one will need forced conversions to stop even today. This message of Guru Tegh Bahadur, this valor of his, this sacrifice is still relevant even today. Even till today, we need, these practices to end. We need these atrocities to end. One would have wished that there was a Guru Tegh Bahadur in the 90s in Kashmir as well, when the exodus happened, isn't it, Dr. Rai?
See, I'll tell you one thing. The message by the martyrdom of His Holiness Guru Tegh Bahadur Singh Ji is relevant for all times to come. Because the kind of situation that we are in, you can see that we are having a white-collar jihad, which is their aim to convert, transform the Hindu demography of India. Let me be very candid in saying this. Therefore, the message is not only given, say, 350 years back and it has no relevance. I say with confidence that this message is relevant for all times to come, because you see, even today also we have love jihad. What is that? That is again an extension of post conversion and religious persecution through other means. We have economic terrorism. We have so many things, because recent this Delhi blast, the trail, the intelligence people who are coming out with fresh details every day shows which way, how they were planning. They were planning through economic route, but what was ultimate objective of their doing all these things? It was again, as I said, that to change the Hindu demography of India, and that is another part of religious persecution. Therefore, I personally feel that we should take the message of His Holiness to every nook and corner of the country to educate. What was said 350 years back is relevant even today and will be relevant even tomorrow also. And for that matter, Kashmiri Pandits will remain gratified to his martyrdom for all times to come. As long as Kashmiri Pandit lives as a community, we remain indebted to His Holiness. Because what we have seen in Kashmir, the forced exodus inflicted on us, was not a culmination of one day. It was a process that took about 800 years, when Kota Rani was the last Hindu ruler of Kashmir, and after her death, when she was killed, Shahmir took over the kingdom of Kashmir, and thereafter we have seen so many things happening, Afghan rule was the last tyrannical rule. When Kashmiri Pandits were afraid of calling themselves Kashmiri Pandits, they used to tell, I am no Kashmiri Pandit, I am not a Kashmiri Pandit. That was the kind of religious persecution that was instilled. That was the kind of fear that was instilled in Kashmiri Pandits. So I personally feel that if at all we worship our Lord Almighty, and Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji is none other than second Almighty whom we worship. Thank you.
And we do need more of these lessons in our textbooks as well. We do need more of this to be taught to our students as well. The Shaheedi Diwas, why it happened, when it happened, Joyita, other tales of Sikh valor as well, Battle of Chilianwala, so many others. What happened in Kartarpur, so many others. All of this should be stories in our textbooks. Our Gen Z needs to be exposed to Panchajanya, Mahabharata, much more.
Absolutely, Uday. Because you see, as I said, I think India is one of those countries in the world which has one of the richest histories that the world has ever seen. And when you are looking at the Gen Z in particular, it is but natural that they will have to learn about it, I mean, this, of course, we keep talking about the West and all, but at the same time, let's also not forget, I would say there is a renewed interest in our culture, in our history, in our society, even among the Gen Z. Because I would say in the last 10 years in particular, as Mr. Modi talks about, as Prime Minister Modi talks about, you have took that colonialism of the mind that has taken place because of, if we can say, 200 years of Macaulay's rule. We have to start shedding that. And that is actively, and it cannot be done just by, changing street names or maybe erecting a few statues here and there. It has to come from inside. So if you notice now what it is happening, your faith, whichever faith it might be, the thing is that no one should be ashamed or afraid of expressing what faith they follow. This is one of the lessons, I would say, that Prime Minister Modi has been trying to impart to the younger generation. Don't be ashamed of your heritage, because you have a wonderful heritage. You have got a fabulous civilization. Yes. So you see, this is an education, I would say, life's lessons. The living of your life should become an example in terms of, there is much more than in this world, in India in particular, than the West. And definitely you are right when you're talking about Gen Z needs to realize it. But I do believe that that process has already started.
Okay. Bipin Sharma, last word to you.
Article 370 and 35A the foundation stone of new Kashmir was laid by the Modi government. They showed that will. So now similarly, the focus has to be on a very strong foreign policy and consolidating the military. We are very proud of our armed forces. And then, of course, economy. Now, since we are the fourth largest economy and there are numerous challenges ahead, but then definitely euphoria in the air, the mood is quite upbeat, and we are very confident about our Gen Z. Compare them to the Gen Z of Nepal, Sri Lanka and Bangladesh. There is a huge difference. The Gen Z of India is wise enough to understand the difference between the right and the wrong. And then no one can, instigate them. So they are responsible enough. That is the, very positive aspect about our Gen Z. Now, what really personifies India is Atithi Devo Bhav, Vasudev Kutumbakam, and then Seva Parmo Dharma. So we are compassionate people, and 140 billion, we have taken a very strong resolve that we will become self-reliant, a superpower, provided we are able to build a very positive perception. Perception matters, and it can make all the difference in the world at the end of the day.
All right. My thanks to all of our guests for joining us on this discussion. It's time for a very short break.